Today's topic is projection of solids. Solid has three dimensions: length, breadth, and thickness. Or we can say it has dimensions in three axes: X, Y, and Z. A solid may be represented by orthographic view, by using front view and top view, or to have about better observation, we can use some auxiliary planes. Here we shall study types of solids and projection of solids using horizontal plane and vertical plane. Types of solids. Solids may be divided into two categories: polyhedra and solid of revolution. A polyhedra is a solid bounded by planes called faces. Here we have taken two examples: tetrahedron and cube. In a tetrahedron, we have a base triangle ABC, which is an equilateral triangle, and it is closed by triangular faces ABD, BDC, and CDA. All these four triangles are equal and regular to form a tetrahedron. It is also known as a regular polyhedra. Then we have a cube with base 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a square. And we have a square opposite to this ABCD. These two squares are parallel to each other. So we get 6 different faces here, which are square, and all these 6 square faces are equal and regular. Prism is a polyhedron having two equal and similar faces, that is base or ends. So here we can see we have a triangular face 1, 2, 3 at the base, and opposite or parallel to this face we have another face, triangle ABC. The lateral face is a rectangle, so we get a triangular prism. Then a square prism, similar to this, we just change the base, that is square 1, 2, 3, 4, and opposite and parallel to this face we have another face, square ABCD, which is a square prism. Then hexagonal prism, a base is a hexagon, and parallel to this, parallel and opposite, we have another hexagon. These two hexagons are regular and equal. The lateral faces we get number of rectangles. Pyramid is a polyhedron having plane figure as base. So here we have a plane ABC, which is a triangle, and on extending the lines from the points ABC that meets at a point D, which is apex. So we get more triangular faces, and we can see here point O is a center of base triangle. On drawing a perpendicular from O, which meets at the apex D. So this is a triangular pyramid. Next is square pyramid. We have a base plane ABCD, that is a square, and all these 4 points meet at an apex O, and we get 4 triangular faces. Then a pentagonal pyramid, where we have a pentagon at the base, and using a center of pentagon, drawing a perpendicular line, we get a point O, and if we connect point O with all 5 points, we get a pentagonal pyramid. The second type is solids of revolution. we have taken here cylinder, cone, and sphere. The first one is cylinder. Cylinder has a circular base, and opposite to this, we have another circle. These two circles are parallel to each other and equal. A cylinder can also be defined by a solid generated by revolution of a rectangle about one of its side which remains fixed. And a cone has a circular base, and using a center, we draw a perpendicular which meets at a point apex, and connecting this apex with all the generators on the circumference, we get a cone. A cone can also be defined by a solid generated by revolution of right angle triangle about one of its perpendicular side which is fixed. Then a sphere. A sphere, simply we can take an example of a football or a cricket ball, which when we see from any angle, from any view, like front view, top view, and side view, we can see a circle. A sphere can also be defined by a solid generated by revolving a semicircle about its diameter as the axis. Frustum, a pyramid or cone cut by a plane parallel to its base. So here we have taken an example of square pyramid. So we have cut the square pyramid such that the cutting plane is parallel to the base. And when we cut this part, the top portion is removed. Remaining portion is called frustum of a square pyramid. As we can see here, the base is a square, and parallel to this we have another square 1, 2, 3, 4. These two squares are parallel but not equal. So this is frustum of a square pyramid. Then we have taken an example of a cone. So we have cut the cone such a way that the cutting plane is parallel to the base. So after cutting the cone, we have moved the top portion here, and the remaining portion is known as frustum of a cone. Next is truncated, a solid cut by a plane inclined to its base. So similarly, if we cut these two solids, for frustum we have cut it parallel to the base, but for truncated we need to cut it inclined to the base. So the remaining portion will be truncated. Let's see the first condition of solid when kept in first coordinate. Solid with axis perpendicular to horizontal plane and parallel to vertical plane. So in this first coordinate, you can see this is the vertical plane and horizontal plane. We have placed a solid that is a square prism with its base 1, 2, 3, 4 resting on the horizontal plane. We also see that the axis, you can see here, axis is parallel to the vertical plane, and this axis is perpendicular to the horizontal plane. Now, when we look from the front view, we can see that the edges are visible, edge 1A, edge 2B, and edge 3C. These three edges are visible from the front view. Edge 4D will be overlapped behind edge 2B. So when we extend the projection on the vertical plane, we get a rectangle. And in this rectangle, we can see these are the three vertical edges. And this horizontal line, that is a square, which we can see will appear as a straight line. So the front view we get is a rectangle. And if we look from the top view, we can see square ABCD is clearly visible, and square 1, 2, 3, 4 will be overlapped with this square. And looking from the top view, we simply get a square. Then when we draw this on orthographic view, we already know that in vertical plane, we have a rectangle, which is the front view. So we can draw the front view, and the top view is a square. Next condition, a solid with axis perpendicular to vertical plane and parallel to the horizontal plane. So here we have placed a solid which is a hexagonal prism, and we can see that the edges and the axis is perpendicular to the vertical plane and the axis is parallel to the horizontal plane. So when we look from the front view and on projecting all these points on the vertical plane, we can see that in vertical plane, we get a hexagon. That is front view, and looking from the top view, we can see that these edges are visible from the top view. Edge 1A, edge 6F, then edge 5E and edge 4D will be visible from the top view, and it is clear that B and C will not be seen from the top view, so these two edges will be hidden. Then extending the projections of the prism on the horizontal plane, we get a rectangle, and in this rectangle we have already seen that four edges were visible from the top view, so we have drawn a rectangle, and this hexagon will be seen as a straight line from the top view. So we draw a straight line. So in the HP, we get a rectangle, that is top view, and in vertical plane, we get a hexagon, which is a front view. So when we draw it in the orthographic view, we can draw a hexagon as a front view, and we draw a rectangle as top view. Next condition is solid with axis inclined to vertical plane and parallel to horizontal plane. So here in this first coordinate, we have placed a solid, that is a square pyramid, and the axis of the pyramid is inclined to vertical plane at an angle of phi. You can see this is inclined to vertical plane, and the axis is parallel to horizontal plane. So looking from the front view, when we extend all these points on the vertical plane, we get the front view in the vertical plane, and looking from the top view, when we extend all these points on the horizontal plane, we get simply a triangle in the horizontal plane, that is top view. Since we have placed this solid parallel to horizontal plane, so looking from the top view, triangle O2, 3, this triangle will be visible from the top view, and the remaining solid will be overlapped behind this triangle. So the top view will be a triangle, and front view will be this profile in the vertical plane. So when we draw in the orthographic view, we can see here we have front view and the top view simply a triangle. Next case, solid with axis inclined to horizontal plane and parallel to vertical plane. This first coordinate, we have placed a solid, that is a cylinder, such that the axis of the cylinder is inclined at an angle of theta to HP, and this solid is parallel to the vertical plane, or the axis is parallel to vertical plane. Looking from the front view, when we project this solid on the vertical plane, we get a rectangle. Since this circle will appear as a straight line when we look from the front view. And we can see these two end generators as straight line in the vertical plane. So we get a rectangle in the vertical plane, that is front view. Then looking from the top view, we can see this circle is visible from the top view, and since this cylinder is inclined, so the circle will appear as an ellipse. So in the top view, we get an ellipse here. Then this circle will be partially visible. So we can see half of the circle will be visible, and the remaining half will be hidden. So we get the top view in the horizontal plane. Then when we draw an orthographic view, in the front view we get a rectangle, and in the top view we get this profile. So we can see here the axis is parallel to the vertical plane, and here we see the axis is inclined to horizontal plane. The last condition, projection of solid with axis inclined to both the reference plane, that is horizontal plane and vertical plane. So here we have placed a cube, and we can see the axis of this cube is inclined at an angle of theta with respect to horizontal plane. And here we can see that one of the face of this cube we have inclined at an angle of phi with respect to vertical plane. So this solid is in first coordinate and is inclined to both the reference planes. So when we look from the front view, on extending all the points on the vertical plane, we get the front view, and looking from the top view, extending all these points on the horizontal plane, we get the top view. Then we will draw these two views in the orthographic view. So we get front view and top view. Looking from front view, we can see three faces. This rectangle face, then this rectangle face, and this face is visible from the front view. So we have drawn here three faces. We can see three faces here, and the remaining faces will be hidden behind this solid. Looking from the top view again, we can see three faces, this one and two behind this. So this was the last condition. We have drawn a solid inclined to both the reference planes. In next lecture, we will solve some problems on projection of solids.